just had to restart my Mac because the camera wasn't showing anything, and I have no idea why restarting the Mac. Camera wasn't showing anything, and I have no idea why restarting the Mac. It's the thing that fixed it, and then I just got echo all of a sudden. So that's unfortunate. And then I just got echo. But hey, I think we're back. But hey, I think we're back in business. 2 weeks ago, I was all excited that I was back to streaming, and 2 weeks ago, I was all excited that I was back to streaming, and I hadn't really connected my mind ahead of time that I would easily be able to stream during it. It was for a wedding. I was easily be able to stream. Am I muted? Am I muted? I don't know. Am I muted? Am I muted? I don't know. Am I muted? Am I muted? I don't know. Am I muted? Am I muted? So hi Nate, hi learner. Am I muted? So hi Nate, hi learner. Am I muted? Alright, I don't know why my display had audio. That's new. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. Thanks. Alright. Also, I hear a very angry cat. Fucking guy. He's been very clingy today because we just got back from a week and a half. Can you hear him? He's purring very loudly. Thanks. You too, learner. How's it going? Hi, gunk. All right. I'm having a slow morning. You ever just have one of those days? Oh, well, I hope it's a good travel, learner. Travel can be tough, but Stream Elements is kicking in. Here we go. Fuck. Guy. This cat is going to be the death of me. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Alright, so what am I starting on? Yeah, I'm very distracted. I'm still waking up. What am I doing? I have this cool little private gist that I'm gonna post here now. This is the first thing I'm gonna work on. Hey everyone, good morning. Sorry for the slow start. / hello on YouTube watchers. I'm going to be working mostly on open source stuff today, but the first thing I'm going to do before getting into my large GitHub backlog is a proposal some of us are affectionately calling definitely formatted. First I'm going to post it on the social media. Private gist I'm about to post to GitHub discussions. Oop. So what's going on? I've been on this warpath recently of you should use a formatter for formatting and a linter for linting. A formatter is a tool like Prettier that just formats your code, doesn't have logic. And, ooh, I almost forgot my fancy lights. Here we go. Action. A linter is a tool that runs a discrete set of logical rules to check for individual code defects. Right now, DefinitelyTyped is one of the biggest repos on GitHub. It's the place for community authored TypeScript type definitions. Almost 85,000 commits. Quite a few commits a day. It's got a lot of automations. Jesus Christ. Sorry, the cat just jumped on my pile of pill bottles. Get out of here, Jerry. Problem solved. There you go. DefinitelyTyped has a lot of community pull requests on it. It's a whole bunch of types folders. Types, let's see, types 11D image, whatever. Each of these has a few config files, package JSON, for example, and then at the very least an index.d.ts. Oh, hey, Tiger Rose. Nice guy. That declare the TypeScript type definitions for some package that doesn't have its own TypeScript type definitions. The problem with this is that right now DefinitelyTyped uses TSLint, an old deprecated linter, not ESLint. Yeah, I saw 0 viewers for a while. Now it's 7. Also, thanks. We are okay. So I'm going to... I have been working with some of the DefinitelyTyped folks on getting it over to ESLint instead of TSLint. I'm on the maintenance team for TypeScript ESLint, the tooling that would allow you, that does allow one to use, wow, ESLint and TypeScript code. It is amazing how hard it is to talk sometimes. There are a bunch of old TSLint rules enabled on this repo that are being used for formatting. So the proposal that I linked in the chat, this definitely formatted thing that I'm going to post on GitHub discussions. This is a proposal for how to overhaul DefinitelyTyped's usage of formatting linting tools, migrating from TSLint to ESLint, and using a formatter for formatting. It's very much not set in stone now. It's a let us know. Will this offend you? What edge cases are we missing? And right now, the proposal is basically ready to go. The plan is to determine a formatter and its config, create a DefinitelyTyped tools pull request that removes ESLint formatting rule. Oh, oops. That removes... See, this is why I do these streams, so I can say out loud this stuff and find out. Removes all that just removes all formatting rules, TSLint and ESLint. At the same time as 2, create and merge a DefinitelyTyped pull request. Note that DefinitelyTyped tools is the repo that stores tooling for DefinitelyTyped external to the repo itself. That way they can package some of them externally and ship them out as standalone tools. So we're going to create a manager DT pull request in the repo itself that runs the formatter on all files, adds checking in formatting fixes to the merge bot. So right now there's a bot that manages merging DefinitelyTyped pull requests. So we're going to add a step to that bot that formats all your files to you, and then adds a GitHub action so that if anyone pushes to master without running through the bot, which some privileged folks do sometimes for maintenance needs, it'll format those for you. There's an explainer later on in the document that goes into this in more detail. And then after that, we're going to add a git blame ignore revs file, which is a fun thing that's been added in the last few years to GitHub, where you can specify which commits are not supposed to show up in the history. For example, if you run a formatter, you probably don't want to see every single file changed. So that's great. Fun fact, Prettier is not the only or the most fast JavaScript, TypeScript formatter. There is another one, an alternative that's come out, dprint, made from a very good developer named David Sherritt, which is like Prettier but in Rust, so it's much faster and harder for me to contribute to. The problem is it's less popular, so now we have trade-offs. Dprint is much faster than Prettier but less popular. Prettier is much more popular but slower. And we plan on using dprint actually, not Prettier. Prettier itself takes multiple minutes on a very fast machine to format all of DefinitelyTyped, whereas dprint can do it in 10 seconds, less if there's a cache, which we might use in CI as a follow-up, but that's 10 seconds is pretty fast, so that's not critical for this RC, this discussion. Also, fun fact, in running dprint on DefinitelyTyped, we actually found a couple bugs, both of which ended up being fixed pretty quickly. We found a bug in SWC, which is the Rust written community, one of the community standards for parsing, and then the dprint plugin for TypeScript. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, what to format with? So this is actually the thing I wanted to edit today before posting. We want to use dprints. So there's already a prettier RC in DefinitelyTyped, the prettier config file. It's got this schema. Doesn't really matter what it is. This plan does not around modifying that schema. It's just using as close to possible. But as an FAQ, should tabs or spaces? One side effect of switching to a dedicated formatter is that individual projects that prefer using tabs for accessibility, which there's actually a GitHub. Whoops, that's not, you're not supposed to say that. That's my private crap. There we go. There's actually a prettier discussion, prettier use tabs. I saw GitHub, prettier, there it is. May find it harder to potential do so in the project. If that is your project, if that describes you, please post here and let us know your use case, why you need to use tabs. Today, and this is a fun little thing. Oh, I forgot to move it from my travel laptop to my work home computer, but I ran a little script that searches for all the tabs or spaces, and I'm just gonna quickly throw it up on a gist locally and then get it running. This is what I'm dealing with over here. Yeah, I normally just adjust based on project myself, but for my defaults, I use tabs because I've told it's better for accessibility, and I'm not an expert. All right, here we go. So just github.com. Quick little gist here. All right. So quick little code snippet. Let's go to code definitely typed. There we go. All right. Get checkout master. Get pull up. Yeah. Get pull up. So they still haven't moved to main. I don't know if and when they will, because there's a lot of tooling built on the default branch being called master. Pain in the butt. Modifying custom scripts. Let me tell you. All right. So let's just get this puppy in here. Temp.js. Oop. I'll put the script in the definitely type proposal too. No temp.js. Here we go. Oh, so right now it logs. Doesn't really need to log this at the end. It logs the directory path. Let's just log the directory. So here we go. So this, what does this do? It says for each directory in types, if the directory path has tabs, log it and continue. I guess we can just console log, that's set. So what is directory path has tabs? Read the directory itself, reader safe, try read it as a directory. If there's an error, just return undefined. So if there are no directory items, return false. And then if there are directory items, for const directory out of them, just slightly reducing my code, look at the item path, and then if you can, see if this format nicely. All right, so keep it separate. For each directory item path, so for each item in the directory, it's type/package, type/index, and so on. It's directory item path dot ends with our ends with TS. You know, I'm gonna match star TS, and it just includes. Why not? We don't need all these fancy regular expressions. If it includes TS, and why is my formatter not kicking in? Whatever. I guess prettier settings for DefinitelyTyped have that long width, don't they? So yeah, if the directory item path. Can we zoom in a little? Chrissy, hi, welcome back. Thank you, I'm glad to be here. Yes, is this better? Sorry for the small zoom. All right, so if the directory item path includes TS, awesome, and it includes a new line and then a tab, I guess I can just includes this. I don't need a regular expression. Then we return true. Otherwise, we return false. So if we know temp.js, oh, nice, that's a little faster, I think. So that's really not that many of them. Yargs, index, it has, what? Who in Yargs has a tab? Yeah, let's log the file also. So actually, you know what? This is funny. I'm like refactoring as we go along. I can just check directory path for tabs. So I can just directory path split / dot slice 1 dot join, and then also its directory item path. I'm just gonna log the directory path. All right, so who in Yargs has tabs? Yargs tests TS. Aha. And there is a tab. Where? Well, somewhere in this file, convert to tabs. No, it was convert to spaces. Somewhere in this file, there's a tab. And if we save it, we see, okay, there's like one. Yeah, there's like one little tab in the file. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to check if there are let's say if I want to check to see if more than like 5% of the lines are actually tabs. So contents equals, oh wait, let's move this here. Contents okay, if contents continue. All right, so const new line count contents dot match dot length or 0, and then const tabs count equals contents dot match new line tabs count. If new line tabs count is falsy, continue. If new line tabs count is greater than new line count divided by 10. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Okay, so this is a few fewer of them. If we look at like types VS Code, yep, this is formatted with tabs, we can see here. JSON query has a lot of spaces. Mary Phillips, Anna 7. Hello, thanks for joining. I am well. Thank you for asking. How you doing? Convert to spaces, save without, and let's look at this. Okay, so like three lines in this file have tabs. So let's create a new line count divided by, oh, you know what? I had to /G to find all of them. That's better. All right, so it's really few. Very few of these files actually have tabs in the, ooh, yeah, this one's mixed. So what I can say, you need to start development. Awesome. So Nico, how did we end up in tab spaces? Well, first of all, Mary Phillips, welcome to the stream. I don't know that I'll be very good at teaching you development because I'm doing like not introductory stuff. But always happy for you to hang out and learn open source and like what it's like to do development work in open source. And feel free to ask questions if there's anything here or in development or whatever you want to talk about. As to how we ended up in tab view spaces, great question. I'm gonna post the gist again. I didn't mean to, let me post it without the hashtag. There we go, pin it. I'm working on a proposal for moving DefinitelyTyped to using a formatter. It's gonna make it easier for people to format stuff. And also it'll make it easier for us to switch from ESLint, or from TSLint to ESLint. Because there's less work to do to move formatting rules over when we don't need formatting rules. So now I'm not planning in the formatting proposal on switching from spaces to tabs. So I just wanted to write a quick script that shows definitively that like almost no repos use tabs now. So if we run the script to find all the packages that have any file that has greater than 10% of its new lines followed by a tab. Great. Of all its new lines, if 10% of them are followed by a tab, indicating it's using tabs instead of spaces, then we log that. Yeah, DefinitelyTyped is still on TSLint. We're pretty close to moving to typescript-eslint and ESLint. It's just something that's taken a while. And this is going to make it easier. Which I should actually mention in here. Easier diff size TSLint to ESLint migration. Removing usage of formatting rules reduces this amount of logic we'll need to port from TSLint to ESLint. Awesome. Updated. So yeah, I wanted to, oops, now I have two gist tabs open. I'm sure that won't confuse GitHub at all. I wanted to also mention the tabs over spaces thing. Today, only a fewer than a dozen types directories use tabs. Only, how many is this? Only, a dozen types directories use tabs. As computed, determined by finding all types directories that have any file with 10% of, oh, you know what it is? I need to match. I can't match on new line tab because new line tab doesn't make sense again, or comparing against just new lines doesn't really make sense, because what if it just has a lot of lines that aren't indented? All right, so let's call it 1 in every 50. File with greater than 2% of its new. Let's get 1 in 100, 1%. Let's see if that finds a lot of repos. I mean, yeah, that's still not that many repos, so this is fine. Only 19. Yeah, so only 19 use greater than 1% of, with number of greater than 1% of its total count. Individual as a result, therefore, this proposal is not changing how the vast majority, 99.9% of types packages behave with used spaces. And then I want to use the tip. Projects that want to still use tabs can always disable the formatter, which is actually something that is mentioned in this lowercase, and switch to kebab case. And if we preview changes, do we get the nice little we don't. There's like a new thing you can do in GitHub. I forget where I used it, where there's a little blue info icon. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Here, this thing. You can use tips or warnings in there. What is it? Where is this? It needs to be on a new line. This little fella here on the right, this warning thing. This friend. So if we go here and preview, I guess Gist does not use this yet. Let me just try copy and pasting the exact thing. Does it look good? Yep, nope. I'm just gonna not use the block quote then. Well, Gists are behind. Does not seem like a product that GitHub is putting a lot of emphasis in recently. And then just making sure, disable the formatter. Yeah, let's, oh, whoops. What did I do? I don't even know what I did right there. All right, so I'm bouncing around. Why put back? Dprint refers to the project's name, so, and it could also refer to the command line tool, so it's optional. I would think putting backticks on it. So let me just make sure this save. Today only, Dprint's pretty great, by the way. I don't use it because I've just been using Prettier, and Dprint's a little newer, but it's really, really fast and works really well. Very configurable too. All right. So now that we've gotten the tabs or spaces thing, yeah. All right. So explaining when formatting runs. So right now, per the proposal, pull request CI builds are not blocked on formatting, so as to not inconvenience people who don't run the formatter. However, two parts of the plan ensure the master branch stays formatted. Most PRs are merged by the DT bot, which does apply formatting. And then also for manual merges, the action that runs on merges to master will capture any formatting mishaps. We might create like a general purpose PR bot, which is actually a to-do issue in my template TypeScript node repo and has been for quite some time. I think it's like one of the oldest ones. Yeah, here we go. This thing. So we might end up doing that, but for now. Can files opt out? You can. You can use the config file excludes and or dprint ignore file ignore comments. We had a couple of discussions on is it actually important to format quickly? Like how fast do you really need this? And the answer is, well, it's nice. Because there's an action that runs on the master branch, the default branch, after every commit, we want to make sure that it runs quickly. So waiting 2 minutes to run on all files, or like somehow determine all the change files and then take a few seconds, it's like it leaves open a spot where between a non-formatted merge to the default branch and someone making a new branch or a fork off of that commit, we want to make sure that time's as little as possible. We just discussed tab spaces, and for anyone who's just tuning in going like, why do we care what's a formatter versus a linter, I got a guide there. Awesome. So I think this is ready to go. I'm pleased with it. Someone yell at me if that's wrong. So what I'm going to do now is go to group.com, definitely typed, discussions. So what I'm going to do actually is twofold. I'm going to post as an issue. So I'm just checking private group chats. Oh, you know what? I was going to post the code. I almost forgot. Temp.js. All right. So details, summary, script that run to find types packages that use spaces, that use tabs. And then that's just like a little JS fella. Appreciate the indentation there, GitHub, but I don't actually want it right now. Let's update that. All right. Oh, I don't need to return true or false. I just return. You know what? I'm gonna post this in my editor and format it. I just ran the formatter in my nice little short. Oh my god, what just happened there? Look at that's not good. All right. And copy and paste back. Updated. What? Why is there 3 backticks at the bottom? That's incorrect. I don't know where those came from. Let's remove those. That's probably not good. Oh, and I should also just run it and post those there as well. Details, summary, package, names logged by that script. And it's these. I'm gonna just plain text here. Very good, very good. All right. Sorry, just posting this in the private chat off camera, of course. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to file an issue. It's just an infrastructure issue here. Tracking. Use a dedicated formatter instead of a for formatting instead of lint rules. Filing this issue for tracking purposes only. For visibility and tracking purposes only. Please don't respond to this with opinions. Please use the linked GitHub discussion you know, I'm not even gonna start with that. I'm gonna start with the discussion, which is literally just this fella. So if we go to the raw, start a new friend here. Discussion title. What do I want to call this? I've been calling the gist definitely formatted, but I don't think many people appreciate that as a title. Using a formatter for formatting instead of lint rules. Oh, actually, I just thought of. Oh no, I do mention. I was like, wait, will this confuse people? What's a formatter and linter? No, we already have that as an FAQ. All right, so one last review. So we got the intro paragraph, context. Oh, look at the little foxglove, cute. All right. So we've got reasons. We got the plan itself. How long have I been streaming on Twitch? I don't know. A while now. I post all my streams to YouTube. So if we go back to my channel there, we get back to 2022. Yeah, started in fall of 22, took a break and got started again spring of 2023. So, yeah. But yeah, the plan, we got explaining dprint, explaining the formatting config, explainer when formatting runs. Well, you know, I don't like how these are all on new lines. I'm gonna touch that up a little bit. Yeah, I always put individual sentences on individual lines, and most Markdown renderers respect that they're in the same paragraph, but gosh darn, gist, and apparently GitHub discussions don't. So that's nice. All right, got the formatting config, FAQs, explainer when formatting runs, confiles, opt-out formatting, formatting forms important, tabs, spaces. You know, I don't really like this explanation. Projects that want to still use tabs can always disable the formatter. I'm going to add something there. Disable. I want to say something like, again, please let us know if this would inconvenience you. We can try to brainstorm a workaround. I have done a search for similar discussions using a formatter. Yeah, nothing. Okay. And start discussion. Whoop! Posted. There we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna file an issue. YOLO. Alright. So now. Oh yeah, someone started dprint. Oh, I should backport the changes I made here to the to the gist. And also mention that this is This has since been posted to GitHub, to DefinitelyTyped's GitHub discussions, with some little emojis so people know to go there more aggressively. You're an animator, that's cool. All right. Time to social media around. Posted. I'll put up a more top of the timeline tweets later today to advertise this more. You know, I'm not really looking for anyone to make emotes of batches, but I appreciate your offering. And I'm just posting this in a private chat. Okay, so that's fun. Let's see here. So far we've got no reactions. So someone shout at me if anything goes wrong. All right, so that's nice. It's 11:17 my time. I've been streaming for something like 40 minutes because there's a little bit of delay because my camera just stopped working because I did something wrong, probably. But now I get to go to actual open source work. Woo! Also, shout out to water, y'all. Drink more water. It's good for you. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the backlog because I'm gonna have to tweet about that later. But all right, let's look at my notifications. What do I got going on? So we've got a couple of things external to typescript-eslint, but I'll just look at these. So first up, I'm gonna look at a PR to typescript-eslint to the preferred nullish coalescing rule. Let's look at this. Now I'm gonna pin that in the chat. Onto the normal GitHub notifications review slot. First up, a PR. I always forget who is on where. Is this author, Amril1, on social media? Testim.io, is that a real website? I'd say product. PR to typescript-eslint, that, what does this PR actually do? That adds an option to the prefer nullish coalescing rule. Awesome. As typescript-eslint is a non-blue sky because we can't be bothered to maintain 15 different social media accounts. Oh man, I just got lightheaded. I need to drink more water. Well, you ever get that? I hesitate to call it a hot flash because that's a whole other thing medically, but it just was like a flash of hot, so. My mother-in-law's actually coming over today. I can chuckle with her about that. Okay, what does this do? So we have an issue for preferred nullish coalescing. What is that? Nullish coalescing is the rule in typescript-eslint. Linting and static analysis are underrated. I agree. Thank you. Yes. It says if you have code, here we go, that could be simplified to, oh, this docs page isn't great, that could be simplified by using question mark, or would be made safer by using nullish coalescing. The rule suggests using it instead. Nullish coalescing is question mark, which is a relatively newer addition to JavaScript that not everyone knows. Oftentimes, you can safely replace or with question. Problem is the rule is finicky, and sometimes there are cases where people actually would not want to switch over, where the rule is wrong, given false positives. 'Positives. 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 ' or actually the other way around, where the rule is hesitant to suggest changes that would actually potentially change logic, but you know you want it. So one of them is the empty string is like a falsy case. So a lot of people have said, okay, yeah, we want to ignore that because we do want blank strings to not be treated as falsy. There we go. So here we have this PR now, which is looking good. Pretty sure we've previously reviewed it. So it's been so long, I don't even remember. But let's see, they modify the docs, they modify the rules source code, and they add a test. Good, the holy trifecta of modifying rules. So just typescript-eslint. I guess I could update VS Code later. GHPR checkout this friend. Git pull yarn. It's just to run the builds. Alright, so what do we got here? Prefer knowledge coalescing the markdown file. Excuse me. Woo! Alright, so they've added this ignore primitives thing, little documentation. If you'd like to ignore certain primitive types that can be falsy, then you may pass an object containing Boolean value for each primitive. String true ignores no undefined unions of a string, default false. Number true, number, big int true, Boolean true. Oh, yeah, they asked, do these need to be sorted alphabetically? Yeah, it doesn't need to be. This is like sort of the second half is alphabetically sorted, the first is reversed. It's fine, doesn't matter. Eventually I'll like go through and like do a lint rule or something, but I don't want to try to enforce something as nitpicky as alphabetizing these. One issue though is I don't see an example in the docs. Did I ask for one previously? Asking if they should do big int. Yeah. What is it? Okay. So all of our PRs, the website deploy is failing. So a new netlify comment. Nope. What? I don't want to look at this too closely because maybe there are secret tokens that I might accidentally leak. And Docusaurus builds are broken. Yay! So I can't review this. I'm gonna have to post a bug in our maintenance thing. Enhancement, Docusaurus. Wait, let me just go to check out main, git pull upstream main, git push, clear yarn, and start. Before I file an issue, I should actually check if it's an issue on the main branch. But okay, but I do know that just, could you add some examples, please? We generally try to, at least for newly added rule options, as it, so users can see exactly how the code looks. So that's probably going to be a blocker for review. Just there need to be examples of using these new options. Alright, so prefer knowledge coalescing the rule. I see they they alphabetized the options ish. Oh, I'm on the wrong branch now. Yeah, they alphabetized the options, which is nice. Ignore primitives is now an optional object. In theory, non-actionable. In theory, we could allow this to be a Boolean to enable all of them at once, or to configure all of them. Primitives at once. I think it's fine to leave that as a follow-up to this PR. Thank you, I appreciate it. I try to be welcoming, you know? We shouldn't push people away who are legitimately trying to make things better. So I ignore primitives is an object with properties, and that's good. Sorted. Oh boy. Yeah. So there's the exclamation marks here because our types are slightly incorrect for default options. It's a whole other thing. So we filter to remove undefined, and then reduce it to union them all together. So this is an enum flag usage where we have all these flags, like numbers that can be unioned together, and then there are methods like tsutils, that is type flag set, that checks them. Interesting that type as ts.union or intersection type. Do we not know at this point that the type is a union or intersection type? So I'm looking at code. For those who haven't played around with the type checker, this is logic that runs on the actual nodes, like the individual pieces of snippets of code, and then the types that TypeScript understands them. Like, is this a string, an array of strings, an object, boolean, and so on. So how do we know? Oh, we know that the type is union or intersection because is null if true. So util is nullable type checks, is the type something that is or null or undefined. And so now, because is nullish is true, we know that the type must be union or intersection. Great. So yeah, the code logic looks good. We just find the ignorable flags, and then the one issue I have here is this feels like this might be like kind of something that could be checked. Performance. It's fine. All right. More ungenerated tests. Excuse me. We have this annoying thing in the code base where some of the tests for rules are auto-generated, and I don't like it. We have an issue filed somewhere to move away from that, but for tests that are already auto-generated, what are you going to do? All right. Yeah, so the auto-generated test to make sure that declare context is whatever the primitive type is, string or undefined, null, number, or string, number, boolean, big int. Those are the ones we're looking at, right? Big int, boolean, number, string, yep, just those four. So when we ignore primitives, we have an or that doesn't cause an error, but when we don't ignore the primitives, then we do auto-generate a complaint for them. Awesome. By the way, I can see my spouse yelling around in the basement, so let me know if that gets annoying, if you can actually hear her. All right, what the heck is going on with these tests, though? Why are there so many? Okay, so these are... Why are we doing this? We're looking at the primitives themselves. I don't think we need all these. Oh, mixed literal. Yeah, you know what? I can't read these tests. These are too complicated. So I'm gonna find. I know I filed an issue. Where is it? There's an issue somewhere here about not auto-generating tests. Now this is for single-purpose tests. Auto-generated tests? Come on, GitHub search. And this is not helpful. Is issue. Well, reference. Here we go. I'm going to mark this as accepting PRs and assign it to myself. I swear to God, I know there was. I'll find it at another point. There was an issue I filed somewhere. Someone filed for, for issues. An issue for we should make sure that tests are not auto-generated. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just gonna complain on this. I can't find the testing. I can't find the issue right now, but I'm find a tracking issue right now, but I'm slowly getting more and more sour on generating tests this way. I'm finding it very difficult to read through them, and the scaffolding, the code generation code obfuscates what the test actually does, and the scaffolding. Could you just have manually written error cases for these, please? Alright, so the code looks good. Code looks great. Just requesting changes on a docs example and clearer tests now. Thanks. Awesome. And going back to VS Code, yep, Docusaurus builds are broken on the main branch. Yay! So that's great. And we just make sure that this has the awaiting response. Here we go. So that's fun. Builds. I really have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to stop right after filing this. But y'all, let me know if there's anything you wanted to ask or anybody in particular I should wait at the end. Also, I've had a good day, so I'm pleased with how we've gone. Main. Oh, that's not the right issue template. I wanted repo maintenance. Here we go. Repo. Annoying. Trying yarn starts on both main and E6 locally. Main locally. Text. Sigh. Guessing an automatic update of something broke. We'll have to bisect through the Git history to see when this happened. Broke running Docusaurus. Alright, well anyway, I actually really have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna find someone to raid now. But before I go, let me just post about me. Thanks for watching, everyone, really appreciate it. Also always nice to see repeat folks like Lerner and Chrissy and Nate, so thanks y'all for coming. I wrote a book. Yay! So please do buy that book if you want to learn TypeScript specifically. And let's see who... No one I follow? Okay, so I'm not going to raid. But this was a lovely time. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks. Bye!